Hi, welcome, and I hope you're doing well. In this video here, I'll be doing a screen replacement on a MacBook Air 2015 model. So if I flip it around, I'd like to show you the model number here is A1466. This is a 2015 model, and let's turn it on and show you the broken screen. So as you can see that the impact is on the top here, right in the middle, and I have this pixelated screen, fuzzy and distorted color. So we're going to change the entire screen with this one here. So it comes entirely all one piece together. Okay, so this is just a wrapper. We can peel it off after. So the LCD does comes with the Wi-Fi antenna, and so the Wi-Fi antenna looks something like this. And this one here is actually your webcam, which is in the right in the middle top here, just for the webcam. And this is the LCD cable. So I will have the LCD in the description below where you can buy the LCD from, either on eBay or Amazon. If you click on the link, I would get like a kickback, some sort of a referral fee. Not a referral fee, a referral commission that will give it to me, but it doesn't cost you anything extra. So whatever price they're selling, you're getting that price. Nothing extra to you, but it's just that if I refer the link to you, the seller would give me a few cents to $1 as a referral link. Now let's go ahead and get started. The first thing you need to do is to turn off the computer, which I just did earlier, and then the next step is to get a pentalobe screwdriver and try to remove all the screws at the bottom here. So the two screws right in the middle are longer. Okay, so these are the two longer screws, and then the rest of it are shorter screws. So I'll do a screw comparison, long screw and a short one. The two long screws are right here, and then the rest of it are the smaller ones. Alright, once you have all the screws removed, you can actually open up the back plate. The back plate will just pry open. Here you get to see the entire battery, motherboard. This is the hard drive, and this is a solid state drive, which is store all your information like your pictures, documents, the OS, everything is in this one. So be very careful. We try not to damage this. If you damage the hard drive, that means you'll lose all the data. Now we'll pay attention to this one here. This is your Wi-Fi cable. Alright, so with the new screen, it just comes with the Wi-Fi cable, as I was explaining to you. So we need to remove these two cables, remove the LCD cable, and the webcam cable is underneath here. Okay, so the first thing first, we need to disconnect the battery. So once the battery is disconnected, that's good enough. So I use my fingernail to pry open the cable. So this cable right here has a little double-sided tape. I'm just twisting it around until it come loose. Here is the one for the webcam. This is the one that we need to remove as well. And as you can see, the cable is hidden underneath this I/O board here on the right side. So what we need to do is we need to make some room for the cable to come out. Okay, so one thing I need to do is to open up the rubber a little bit. This is a T5 screwdriver, a torque screwdriver, and I'm removing the fan. So this is the CPU fan. The screws are not the same. So the top right screws are longer. The one here at the bottom is a bit shorter, and the top left here is also a shorter screw. Once I have the 3 screws removed, this is the CPU fan cable. So you actually need to open up the clipper. To open the clipper right here is very tiny, and I just use my fingernail to lift it up a little so that the clipper is open. And once the clipper is open, you can go ahead and slide the cable out. Okay, so this is the cable, and do you see this white line here? Okay, so this white line here is to align with the connector. So when you install, you push it all the way in until you can't see the white line. That's when you know it's all the way in. Then you're going to flip the clipper back down to close it. Okay, so first when you remove the fan, and the next step is I try to disconnect this DC jack, but you don't have to. It's actually not needed. Let's do it without it. Okay, so the next step is to open up the webcam cable to remove it. To remove the webcam cable, you need to slide it down towards yourself. So it's a slide downwards. Okay, so once you slide it down, and there you have it. You see how it's stuck in between here? This is when we need to remove this board. But before we do that, go ahead and disconnect the speaker as well. This speaker here is like a Lego. It snaps on. To remove it, you pull it up. So pull it up towards the sky. So pull it upwards, and that's how you disconnect the speaker. So go ahead and use the T5 screwdriver and remove this one screw, and that should give you some room. Okay, and this room would free up this cable. You see, this cable would just come right out. Okay, so let's put this on the side. We are keeping the screw here for this board because once we install the new screen, we need to tighten it back on. So now we're going to come back here. As you can see that the Wi-Fi cable is still connected to this Wi-Fi connector. Now, how do you identify which cable goes where? Let me open up this first, see if I can explain it. I'll show it to you. I'm not sure why they tape it. They shouldn't be taping it like this. You want to be very careful when you open up. You do not want to break the connector. Okay, this Wi-Fi, the gold plated connector is very important. If you break it, then you're not having a good signal on the Wi-Fi. So make sure you be very careful when you remove the tape here. Okay, so pretty much I have it down, and obviously you can see one is longer and one is shorter. So the longer one's got to be going to the bottom, the shorter one would going on the top. So imagine that you're running the cable around here underneath the motherboard, and then the longer one have to go all the way to the bottom, right? The shorter one goes to the top. Okay, so to easy understanding, I'll just put a little blue marker here on the shorter one, and then put a blue marker here on the top one. So I know that the blue goes to the top with this marker here. Okay. Alright, so that's being said, let's go ahead and disconnect the Wi-Fi cable. To disconnect this one, you just got to lift it up again. So it's like a Lego, it snaps on. It doesn't have any click. You just got to lift it up, and that would remove the cable. Now you can see that this cable is running along. They actually is tucked underneath the motherboard. You can use a plastic prying tool later to tuck the cable back in. Alright, so now we have the Wi-Fi cable removed. The next thing is to remove this LCD connector. So you can see this little metal clipper. You need to open up the clipper. So once you flip open the clipper, the cable is going to slide away from you, right? So you slide that direction away from you, and there you have it. Okay, so make sure the clipper is open and then slide away from you. Now the next step is you're going to get the torque T8 screwdriver. T8 screwdriver is to remove the 3 screws on the hinge. So remove this one first. Okay, so that's the 3 screws for that side. We're going to come back here and remove these 3 screws. Alright, so at this point, as you can see, the hinge is ready to go. So what I'll do is I'm going to lift it up right about slightly more than a 90-degree angle. So keep lifting it up, and then right now you can actually see that it slides out. Okay, you come back here and do the same thing on this side, and it will come right out. Okay, so this is the back screen, and here's the motherboard. So here comes the new screen, right? So before I install that, make sure I have this wrapper removed. So let's remove this thing. They shouldn't tape it. It's just so difficult to remove. Okay, so I have it removed, and now what you want to do is you want to open the hinge right about 90-degree angle. Same thing on this side, both sides about the same angle. Now make sure all the cables stay behind the screen, and you want to install one at a time. So slide this one first. Hopefully it goes all the way in. Okay, so that is good. It goes in already. Come back and do the second part right here. So slide it in. Now while you're holding the laptop at the 90-degree angle, right? So right now the laptop is 90-degree angle. To close the hinge, you need to put one screw first. So I'm putting this screw just to hold one side of the hinge, and I come back and I put one more screw on this side of the hinge. While your left hand is still supporting the computer, right? So because right now the screen is open at 90-degree, I'm just supporting the screen while closing on the hinge. Now both hinge can close now, right? Because I have the screws on it. See, now you can close it, you can close the screen, now you can work again. First thing I'll do is to connect this Wi-Fi cable. So this Wi-Fi cable here, so you're gonna do it like this. So you see this metal is to ground any electronic statics, and at the same time is to hold the cable. So let's go ahead and screw it in. And this is the webcam, remember? So let's go ahead and tuck it underneath. So the cable go above it, slide into this slot, and then kind of go around it where the fan is going to, you know, not blocking the air. So kind of tuck underneath and slide it in. So once you aim it in the right position, slide it away from you. So it's going to go that direction, right? Away from you. Push it in. If you feel like it's not all the way in, you can just use this tool and try to push on both sides. Okay, once I have that in place, do not forget to put the screw on. This screw is to hold this board down. Once the board is firmly secure, do not forget the speaker. Align with the connector and push it down. Okay, now the next step is to install the CPU fan. Remember the white line I was talking about? Make sure the clipper is open, slide the cable back in, and make sure that you can't see the white line. That means you are pushed all the way in, and now you close that clipper. And once you close the clipper, that means you securely connect the cable. Now open up the rubber so that the fan can sit back down. And now you're going to put the screws back on. So there's one screw on the top right, which is the bigger and the longer screw. Top left is a bit shorter. And there's one at the bottom. Alright, so there you have it. Now, do not forget this cable here. This is the connector cable. Align it like a Lego. Once you have the position aligned, just push it down. It will snap back on. Now, we're going to work on this hinge right here on the top left. Put the two screws back on. Alright, so this clipper, you need to make sure you flip it away from you. And then once you have that, go ahead and slide it down. Okay, once you have it, slide down in the right position. So again, I want to make sure that you understand this part. So some people may say it may be on the top or the bottom. So here I want to point it out to you that this cable here doesn't say which one is the top and which is the bottom. So if I try to show it to you, hopefully you can see it. This is how you want it to be put in. Okay, so this is considered the top. The surface is flat here, and here would be considered the bottom. You see that little black lines all across it? I would consider this as a bottom and consider this as a top. Okay, now you do not want to flip the bottom and push it in. So earlier, which I tried to do it, I had it on the other side and I tried to push it in, it doesn't go in. And you shouldn't be pushing it in with any force on it. It should just be very gentle and it will just slide in on its own, right? So you don't have to put the force on it. If you feel like it's stuck, that means you might have it the other way around. Okay, so let me repeat myself. This is the top and then this is the bottom. So I need the top facing us, the top, and then have the clipper flip open. So slide it in. Like I said, you don't need a force to go in. And once it's in, get the clipper, push it back down. Okay, that's how the clipper install. Now we have to come back here to work on the Wi-Fi. So this is the Wi-Fi, and here we are trying to get the Wi-Fi cable, tuck it in underneath the motherboard. Now the Wi-Fi cable, you want to be very careful. So as long as the Wi-Fi, the short one goes on the top, it's like a Lego. Once you align it in the right position, you just press it down. So you can feel the little clip, it goes back in. So align in the right position, press it, it clicks to go back in. Now everything looks good. The Wi-Fi is installed. Finally, I can put the power back on. The battery. So slide the battery back in. And get the back plate. Put the back plate on top. Looks like this cable is sticking out a little bit. There you go. Okay. Now let me put the screws back on. This is a small one. Top right corner. And then the two longer screw goes here. So the process for this screen installation is actually not that difficult. You just got to do it one step at a time. Be patient with it. You know, if you missed a step, come back, rewind the video, watch it again. But yeah, just take your time when you try to do this. No rush for yourself, okay? What else? So if you like the video, yeah, please subscribe, you know, click on the like button. I really appreciate for supporting my channel. The same time is, if you have any question, you're not too sure what to do, you know, if you have question that is not related to the screen replacement, but if you have the same model of this computer but different problems, just write me a comment below. I'm more than happy to help you. I'm more than happy to answer those questions. And yeah, so I look forward to, you know, to talk to you through the comment. Now let's go ahead and turn it on, make sure that it works and I can see a better screen. Then that way I can tell that the computer is working. So it's turning on. There you have it. So I can see that the Apple screen looks good. Everything seems to be fine. I do not have this, you know, problem, the cracked screen or the pixelated screen or the fuzzy screen. So it looks looking good. Like I said, this is the plastic wrapper. You can peel it off after, and yep, so that way you would have a very nice clean LCD screen. So yep, this is it. And if you have any question, just write in a comment below. I'm more than happy to answer those questions. Until next time, please take care and wish you luck on the screen replacement.